everybody, and welcome to the first ever Marvel Cinematic Universe Madness. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and today is, since it's the first day, it's going to just be me, but I'm going to try to get other guests who are big Marvel fans to come on and chat. And if we ever get a celebrity that's been in a Marvel film or worked on them, we'll definitely have them on too. But for now, I think I'm very happy just having myself talk about this, because what I wanted to talk about, and one of the things I've been kind of talking about on Facebook a lot anyway, so I figured I'd make a whole podcast, vidcast about it, is talking about the 2022 schedule of films and TV shows that are going to come out and what everybody's thoughts on them. Are you guys really, really excited for this year? This year is going to be insane. I believe there's 3 films, like actual films, that are supposed to come out in the theaters this year. One of them, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, one of them I'm wondering if it's going to get pushed to 2023. I'm sure you guys know which one that is. But if you don't, we'll talk about it in a second, actually. And then there's 4 or 5, maybe 5 there's 5 scheduled to come out this year. And those may also, one of them may get pushed or so. You never know. And I'll also give my predictions of release dates that I'm thinking that some of these that have not been announced yet are going to be announced. I won't give the exact release date, but I'll give a, kind of a idea and everything of it. So without further ado, I want to go into each one and talk about what I'm really excited for them. So the first film, obviously, is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. If you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, then I don't know what you're doing here listening to this. You should be going out there and watching that movie. And I'll talk a little bit about what happened, later. I'll talk a little bit about last year's movies and television and whatnot, but let's get right into this. So Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I believe is going to sort of take after, like, I think it's supposed to be like a year after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. So like that. So all of a sudden the multiverse is sort of cracked, and Doctor Strange has to deal with that. And then we're going to get, Wanda, obviously, because they've already showed the teaser. If you have not seen the teaser for this yet, please go check that out as well. It looks really cool. I'm kind of with everybody who said that they were not happy with like a teaser being shown of it, because the teaser did get released like a week later or so, and it would have been great if we got another segment or another little thing that could have set up for stuff. But it's better than the Hawkeye end teaser thing where they just showed the musical, which I know everybody liked, but they could have just put that on YouTube and I would have been happy. They didn't. I was expecting a post-credit sequence that would have explained sort of what they're planning to do with that series. By the way, I am drinking out of my Iron Man cup. I got this for Christmas, so I am happy. I'm actually drinking soda out of it, which is weird, but I'm kind of not in the mood for anything else. Let's see. So Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. I think this is it's gonna blow everybody away. I don't know. I don't know what they did differently, but for some reason, I think it's because like we have basically a year or so and everybody was getting hyped up for Spider-Man No Way Home. It hyped me up. But right now, I just don't feel the hype. Are you guys feeling the hype for Doctor Strange? I don't know. I know there's a lot of rumors and they're saying that it might be like 3 hours long and we're getting very close to it. But I think they said that about Spider-Man No Way Home, and that was 2.5 hours long, but not 3 hours. So if this actually stretches to 3 hours, I'll be happy, because I know there's a lot that's supposedly going to happen, a lot of characters that are going to get introduced. And that's what I thought was really going to happen and Spider-Man No Way Home. I thought Spider-Man No Way Home was going to be character and character and character after character. And we would start like, I mean, this whole multiverse would start really cracking. But I'm thinking that the multiverse isn't going to start cracking until this into Madness movie. And it's weird because I there's the Quantum Mania one for Ant-Man, and that's supposed to have a lot of craziness. And so but I don't know if that's still, we're going to still be in the multiverse by then. I don't know. I don't know how long we're going to stay in the multiverse. All right. So next is Thor: Love and Thunder, which I loved Thor Ragnarok. It's on my top 5 of the MCU movies. So I'm really excited for this one as well. I don't know. Once again, I'm not feeling the hype yet. I think it's because they've got about 7 months and there hasn't even, I'm hoping by next month they at least give us a teaser trailer or something to show things. There's been some leaks, but I'm not sure what is what and what's going to happen. So I don't know. I'm not feeling it as well, like the hype yet. I'm hoping that Doctor Strange, they start doing stuff for Doctor Strange, like start getting us like excited for it. Like they did with Spider-Man No Way Home. Like everybody was talking about it. Everybody was super excited. It was like, oh my goodness. And then when it came out, it was just super amazing. And I'm not feeling it for this. I don't know. So, and then the last one is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I'm sad that he's not coming back as T'Challa. And I'm not sure because everybody's like recast, T'Challa or something. I don't know if I really want them to recast or not. Anyway, what I would like is somebody just as good to step in. And there's been a few characters from Black Panther that could step in, and we could get a female Black Panther, which would be awesome. But aside from that, I don't know. I'm not feeling this one either. And I've heard it's got, issues right now. They may be pushing the release date. I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously, I mean, they've still got, I think, like 10 more months to go before this is released. So, I mean, anything could happen at this rate, but it's not looking too good. And I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that yet. Once again, no hype for much of these things. So this I could understand because it's like 10 months out and there wasn't much hype for. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Like, I swear to God, last year, this time, I was so excited for Spider-Man, and I don't know what they did differently. I can't describe it, but whatever they did differently, they should be doing right now, and they're not, in my opinion. So if you think I'm wrong or whatever, just let me know in the comments below, please. Also, please hit subscribe. Check out Indie Film Cafe. Indie Film Cafe Network and our network of shows. We have tons of different content, not just Marvel. This is going to be the Marvel one. And it will be either once a month or I may make this weekly. If people seem to really dig this will be weekly. It just won't be on Friday weekly. It'll be on another day. If that is something that you're interested, please comment because I would love to hear people's thoughts. I do love talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and my thoughts on everything. But, I also love hearing what you guys have to say because I love being in the comments and under Indie Film Cafe commenting on stuff and telling people my thoughts because, sometimes they're different. And there's also a great group on Facebook that's the Marvel Cinematic Universe group. And I love that, obviously. So there you go. All right. So for TV series, we've got Moon Knight, She-Hulk. Well, let's talk about Moon Knight first. Moon Knight was not a character I was familiar with. Just like I wasn't really familiar. I'm not huge. See, I got into Marvel years later. When I was a kid, I was into Wolverine and X-Men a lot. And but But aside from that, I was never really into comics as much as a kid as I was into movies. And so when Marvel Cinematic or Marvel Studios created Iron Man and all of them, I started getting into that a little bit more and a little bit more. And really, it wasn't until recently I started diving more deep. So I'm not a comic book nerd, and that I say that in a nice way, because in the nicest way possible, because I love diving deep into this and I love becoming one, and I don't feel like it should be shamed that people get into it much later in life. Some people get into it when they're kids and they start reading them all, and it's really nice to be able to go there and read all the different comics and everything. So there you go. All right. But Moon Knight was never somebody I was familiar with. I'd heard of him. There was a guy I knew that wanted to, was hoping one day he'd be able to play that role or something. And other than that, it is what it is. I never got into it, but from the teaser and everybody talking about how this might actually bring out the Midnight Suns, which sounds really awesome. I'm into horror, so like obviously that sounds like a lot of fun to me. I'm down for it. I'm down for all of this stuff. So Moon Knight, there you go. Next is She-Hulk on my list. Now these aren't the list of them. I'm gonna actually give my list of when they're gonna come out. These are just ones I wrote down. So She-Hulk is gonna come out, and I'm what I'm excited for it, but I'm a little nervous. Once again, there hasn't been any other than that one teaser they did for Disney Plus Day. There hasn't really been much talk about this, or like teasers or pictures or anything recently, and it's just all of this is starting to make me worried about Marvel, because Marvel is very known for like posting things ahead of time, getting people hyped up and getting people aware. I feel like a lot of this stuff is just, we're gonna get people ready when, like, right before we're gonna do it. They did that with Hawkeye. When Hawkeye's like a month or so before they started promoting it, and I'm like, man, I wish I like was really I was excited, but I wasn't that excited until I saw that teaser, and they like showed it like a month before, 2 months before or something. And I'm just like, I'm ready for like things to like really hype me up. But we'll get more stuff with that. So She-Hulk, I'm excited about it. It's got the girl from Orphan Black, Tatiana. I think. Goodness gracious, I can't say her name right now, off the top of my head. But I really liked Orphan Black. I think that that TV show was just amazing, and I had a lot of fun with it. So, do I think she'll be a great She-Hulk? Hell yeah. I think if anyone's gonna get it, it's gonna be her as understanding She-Hulk. So good job with cast. Good job. Like I had anything to say about that. Ms. Marvel. Once again, I've heard kind of like it got delayed and it was supposed to come out last year and it didn't come out, and now it's being pushed. And I don't know if that's because the Marvels got pushed and it's supposed to tie in with that, and there's that Secret Invasion show. So I think a lot of that has to do with each other. So who knows? I'm not sure. But all I know is once again, once I start seeing more things and everything, I'll be more excited. All right. And then the last two are like Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. So there's I Am Groot, which is like the animated show, and there is what is it? Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. And so both of them I'm sort of excited about, but I don't know. We'll see. It's like I said, it's really weird to be excited about this shit when I just don't have a clue what's going on. So I'm going to give my Marvel Studio guesses. Now, I'm actually going to switch to around because, okay, so there's a lot of talk. People think Moon Knight is going to be the first one up. These are going to be my guesses of release dates. There won't be an actual release date. though it will be a Wednesday, obviously. So for the TV shows. So let's see. Actually, these are different than what I put later. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right. So I am going to say Miss Marvel will come out in June. Not June. I have it written as June. Will come out in February of this year. And I say February 16th, I think, because my guess was there has to be something that comes on Wednesday after the day after Book of Boba Fett is done. So I figured Disney will probably put something there. Now, people are suggesting that it's going to be Moon Knight first. I don't think so, because Moon Knight sounds like a horror kind of show. So I would prefer it to be later. So I'm going to say Ms. Marvel will be in February. Now, I was going to say She-Hulk first. But I'm just going to go with Ms. Marvel because Ms. Marvel would be sometime like Ms. Marvel was supposed to come out before or around the same time as Hawkeye, close to it. So I think it was supposed to be before Hawkeye. So it kind of, or after Hawkeye, something like that. It was supposed to be after Hawkeye, but it was supposed to be like whatever. So there was some different stuff there. I would say that Ms. Marvel will come out first, then, but there has been talks about the, I guess there's been it's been having issues with it being what is it, the special effects. So I don't know. Once again, these I guess could be interchangeable as my guesses. But I for right now, I'll say Ms. Marvel comes out in February and She-Hulk comes out in June. Now I put those two into category because if one of them comes out in February, and then we have what is it? We have the obviously Doctor Strange come out in May, and then June, right? Then we'll have a little bit of time. Then August, I Am Groot comes out. And I Am Groot would be the animated show. The last animated show we had was out in August of last year. So I'm guessing that will be when I Am Groot is out there. And then Moon Knight would be September and or October. I think I said September, but it could be October. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special would be either November or December-ish. Now, I say that like November, December. I'm really saying December, and I'm really saying September for Marvel for Moon Knight. Now, a lot of people, once again, are saying Moon Knight's going to come out first because I think it's the one that's actually closer to being done. I don't think so, but just because I think that's a horror show, and I think usually horror shows come out during the fall. But I could be wrong. Like, absolutely. It could be the one that comes out in February or March or April, and they're not, all I know is they're not going to put ones in May or like it might go through there, but it will not be starting in May or July would be my guesses, or November. So those 3 dates are when when Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther come out. So when all 3 of those come out, there's not going to be a Disney Plus show that's going to air around the same time. They want you to watch the shows, then go to the movie theaters and watch the movies. Now, let's talk real quick about Morbius, which has been pushed and pushed and pushed, and a lot of people are. To me, it's getting the Black Widow effect, where after a while, people are just not going to care as much about it, and it kind of sucks because it looks cool, and I'm going to see it. Like, no doubt, I'll be there opening day. But a lot of people are a little worried, and plus, seriously, seriously, MCU, or well, I guess it's Sony who did it. Seriously, Sony, April 1st. That's it's probably the worst day to do that, but yeah, whatever. Anywho, yeah, so those are my guesses. This is being done on what is it, on the 7th? It's a Friday. So when this comes out, maybe there'll be actual release dates for things. Like that's the one thing I'm starting to get really irritated by, is just no release dates. I'm one of those people that like to plan things ahead of time. And so when it's like, oh, we'll let you know like a month beforehand when we're releasing a TV show, I get a little worried. And I get a little worried because I know these shows aren't going to be like one releases in April, one releases in June, one releases, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to do that. Mainly because they have to work with like Star Wars, which Disney Plus, I'm sorry, but you should pick, like, if you're going to release Book of Boba Fett or Obi-Wan Kenobi or all these other shows for Star Wars, release them on a Thursday or a Tuesday, because Marvel Day is a Wednesdays. And when you kind of put them together as like, oh, we're going to put all our new release shows on the same day, I mean, I feel like it loses impact on some and stuff. And then when you're doing it where you have to release them all on Wednesdays, then it's just, there's just not, right now, I just have no idea when they're going to put things down. So I'm just hoping Disney gets this shit together and just Marvel Studios starts telling us what the release dates are. They've got they have a Star Wars Day, May 4th. I want them to have like an MCU Day, because they have and they've got to know these things, because they got to tell their investors when everything's being released. I mean, the investors got to know this shit. So I'm just a little irritated that we don't know this shit yet, the public. And I feel like the public should know when, and without guesses of like the second quarter or the third quarter or whatever, like just fucking tell us, when everything's coming out. And I don't like reading it from like Variety. I prefer them doing stuff on the Twitter and their Facebooks and their YouTubes, stuff. I would rather hear, like, I'd rather see a teaser trailer that says coming, February 16th, She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, but sadly I'm scared of that, because like it's going to be a month before then. And we haven't even, like, literally have not heard a damn thing yet. So I have no idea what's going to happen. Actually, by the time this is out, it'll be after a month. So, or less than a month before it comes out. So there you go. But aside from that, I don't know. I'm really excited. I think this show that I'm going to do, I'm going to talk more about MCU and everything. And I'm just kind of excited to see where this goes. So let's go next into the past, last year, and my thoughts on a lot of the shows and movies and stuff. So we started off strong with like WandaVision, and I actually really liked WandaVision. And at first it was very confusing, like where's this going? And then I really liked where it went. And I had a lot of fun watching it, and it was just a lot, it was just fun. Then we had The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was more of a, MCU type show, superheroes fighting, that kind of thing. So that was fun. And then we had Loki. Wait, did we have Loki before we had, I think we had Black Widow first. So we had Black Widow, and then we had Loki. And Black Widow, I mean, honestly, it was just one of those too late kind of things where it felt like it was cool. Like if they had made this about Yelena, I would have been more about it. But like being about Natasha and everything, it just, she was already dead. Her character was already dead. I didn't like, she had no stakes, but you didn't really know any of the other characters. So, it could have been cool, like to think, oh my God, Yelena could die at any moment. So if it was more about her struggle, and then like the Black Widow was just in there, that would have been cool. But honestly, it was okay. It was fun. It's a cute little movie. It had a lot of controversy considering they released it day and date and everything, and they shouldn't have done that. But they learned their lesson pretty quickly. Don't do that anymore. So yeah, so there you go. So then what else was the thing? So then it was next was Loki, which I loved. I love Loki. What If was next after that. Wasn't really a big fan of What If. I thought it was okay. It had some good moments, but once again, not into the cartoons as much, not into animation. I'm not even sure I'm really excited for like I Am Groot or like Spider-Man. Definitely not that excited for X-Men because like I never really watched the show when I was a kid. I know it was on back in 94 and stuff. I was a kid back then, so I would have been the target audience. Just wasn't really that into it. I thought it was okay, and rewatching it, I actually turned it off about 10 minutes in. Like it just wasn't. It hasn't gripped me, so I don't know. I might try to give it some more chance before the new one, but also once again, animation is not my thing. Never really was. I grew up on Thundercats and Ghostbusters and stuff and whatnot, but not really into X-Men. Then after that, after What If, there was Shang-Chi, and the Ten Rings, and I absolutely love that. Had a fun time with that movie. I felt like it was exciting and different, a little different. It had a lot of the same MCU quirks and stuff, but it was a lot of fun. It had some comedy to it that just made it kind of goofy and silly at times that I liked and I enjoyed. So I enjoyed that one. And then the Eternals came out. Oh boy. Oh boy. And I'm going to talk about, and then Venom Let There Be Carnage, which Venom Let There Be Carnage got a lot of flack. And I honestly enjoyed it. I had a fun time. I think people were either expecting too much from it because they loved the first one so much, or they were just not into Venom at all. So either way, you're really going to be disappointed. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It had some moments where I was just like, okay, like that happened. But aside from that, I really enjoyed it. And then the Eternals. And my problem with the Eternals was, A, I was not aware of who they really were. B, it was too long. And C, I just kind of bored through a lot of it. I felt like there were some characters that because they had 12 characters in the movie that are main characters or so, like something like that. It's a ridiculous amount of people that I felt like you started to kind of lose focus. And obviously there are 3 or 4 that are the main focus. I felt like it was kind of Angelina Jolie. Like people just didn't really have much to do with anything that was if they had their own story, or if they were supporting characters for another movie, I could have understood more about them, and then they could have came together. Everybody said, "Oh, well, you didn't need that for the Guardians of the Galaxy," and that might be true, but I'm sorry, the Chloe Zhao, I think that's her name, the director. She is a wonderful, wonderful she is very good at visual. She's a very visual filmmaker, and I absolutely thought it was visually stunning and very interesting. But aside from that, I felt like the movie itself just kind of lacked something. I don't know. It's just there was something about it that I just could not get into. And so honestly, it was my least favorite. which kind of sucks because I was rooting for it. A lot of people didn't know who the Eternals were, and were telling me they weren't going to go see it because they didn't care. Shang-Chi was the same way. They didn't care. They knew nothing about Shang-Chi, didn't care about the 10 rings that were all that stuff. Like, whatever. Understandable. I guarantee you, if they watch it on fucking Disney Plus, they'll be shocked. It was really good. Like, Shang-Chi was good. Eternals comes out on my birthday, January 12th, I think, or close to it, on Disney Plus, and I'm excited to kind of revisit it. Maybe I'll have a different feelings on it, but all in all, I just wasn't that into it when I watched it in the theaters. So who knows? Maybe I'll have a different take on it later. Aside from that, and then Hawkeye. Hawkeye was the last one. Oh, well, all right. The second to last one. But the last one was the last TV show was Hawkeye. I thought Hawkeye was great. The ending to it was sort of I felt like they pulled a Game of Thrones. I felt like they rushed it. It felt like the ending didn't feel like there felt like there was like maybe 2 or 3 more episodes they could have done to, like, you know what I mean? It was like one thing happened, then another thing happened, then it was done. And I feel like if they had a couple more episodes, it might have like fleshed things out a little bit and gave some more time. I don't know. But the ending was just that happened. That ended. I liked what they did, bringing back a character. Once again, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it's been a while. You guys can go see it on Disney Plus if you haven't already seen it. I don't know why you haven't. But that's the thing. So Hawkeye has a character. All right, I'll fucking say it. It's been a while. Kingpin's in it, played by Vincent D'Onofrio from the Netflix series of Daredevil. And it was like I was expecting him in like maybe the 3rd or 4th episode. They freaking bring him as a picture in the 5th episode, and then finally introduce you to him. And then they have a scene where if you're not a big comic person like me, I was not aware. I had to look this up and stuff. He's not dead, I don't think, but he did get shot and he gets blind in the comics. So they're kind of following the comics. So he's going to be around. His character was badass, but it was just like, it was too quick. I felt like we needed to meet this guy, and we needed to like get into this. I mean, it can't just be like, oh, Vincent D'Onofrio is back and we're going to have a scene where Echo's going to shoot him. That's another show I'm kind of excited about, Echo, because no idea where they're going to go with that. That character is a lot of fun. And played by a deaf girl, real deaf girl. So it's awesome. She did a fantastic job. And Vincent D'Onofrio, I mean, he's just always great. Like, he's great in almost everything. So I really dug it, but I was just like, this is just way too quick. And kind of, like, it's funny because when I first watched an episode or something, I'm like, oh, that was awesome. I really had a good time. And then I start to like really think about it. And that's what happened with this one. I was like thinking about it going, yeah, this isn't as fun as I recall it to be, But yeah. So was it Hawkeye? Was fantastic. Up until the end, and even then, it was still good. I'm excited because I think they're gonna do Hawkeye season 2, but it'll be all more about Kate Bishop and stuff, which I'm excited about, and that'll lead to like the Young Avengers and all these other cross promotion stuff, which they do all the time. They bring one character into another movie and stuff. I'm really excited. And then last but definitely not least is Spider-Man No Way Home, where I am just so stoked. Like I said, that one got the most hype And that movie was just freaking amazing. Probably the best cinematic experience I've had in a long time. Now, a lot of people, so on Facebook, I wrote like, I want, like, what would you do differently to change like Hollywood or whatever, you know? And a lot of people said like no cinematic universes, no sequels, no reboots, blah, 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 blah. And like, I understand that sometimes, because, I feel like Hollywood is running out of ideas, whatever. Um, Sometimes they have to just reboot. Like, did we need a Charlie's Angels? No. And that got so much controversy and so much hate for doing things differently for it. I really didn't dig it. Um, do we need a Black Panther 2? Yes. In my opinion, absolutely. Will it be good? Probably, hopefully, Did we need a Spider-Man No Way Home? Yes. Let's do the trilogy. Let's make it the home trilogy. And I felt like we needed this movie. We had a lot of problems in 2020 and 2021. And this movie just felt like it was the epitome of everything we needed to end 2021 with. So I really, really, really love it. Do I think it's like, I think it's honestly on my top 5 favorite movies of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because it is an MCU movie, unlike Venom, which is not an MCU movie, or Morbius will be. They're just, Sony ones. I've only mentioned them because they are Marvel movies that are coming out. But thank God, we've got all these films being released from the MCU, from Marvel Studios, and this, honestly, this feels like it's going to be one of the most lackluster years, honestly, because there's only 2 movies. But like when you look at the slate for 2023, you've got what is it? Like 4 movies, I think, for it, and maybe even 5 if Black Panther gets transferred over. So you might have like 4 or 5 movies for 2023. So I'm really excited for what's gonna happen with Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just a little nervous this year because like this year just seems like, oh crap, we can't get things finished, on time. So we're gonna have to push them over to the next year. And that's just making things go, okay, well, we're gonna have to push like maybe they're gonna have to push the Marvels to 2024. I really hope not. But whatever is gonna be like last on their Blade, might get pushed or so. And that kind of sucks, because I really can't wait for all of them, to come out. So all in all, I'm just super stoked, super excited, but I'm also super nervous. Who knows what's going to happen? So I can't wait. And I think we can all say like safely that 2022 will be a fun year. I mean, if we don't have anything, if you are a Marvel and Star Wars fan, you're going to be busy with Disney Plus stuff all year long. And that's a wonderful thing because a lot of things that keep getting pushed and stuff, a lot of it has to do with the new variant coming in and other things like that. I think that's a lot of what happened with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, is that there was stuff going on with the God damn it, the variant, the new variant. So and people getting coronavirus, and if you're sick, you're quarantined for 14 days. So when you're quarantined, you can't go and work, and when you can't go and work, that pushes the project and makes people go, oh, okay, we got to figure out what we need to do with this. So, or they can't fly, or there's issues with other things. So I have no idea what they're going to do with Black Panther. I really hope it comes out when it's supposed to come out in November. But if it doesn't, it doesn't, and then we'll only have 2. So if we have 3, that's great. If 2, we'll have like 4 or 5 movies, because I know we got the Marvels. We've got was it Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We have Blade. we were supposed to have. I thought we were supposed to have. We're supposed to have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We're supposed to have, and then at one point we're supposed to have Fantastic Four, which they haven't even. Don't even get me started on that. They haven't even announced who's playing Reed Richards yet. But I'm wondering if they were going to plan to do that, and kind of if that was going to be something that they were going to show in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I'm wondering if Reed Richards will show up in that, and but if so, I mean, they got so many things popping up in that movie, so many variants and so many different people. There's rumors that like even Tom Cruise would show up in that movie. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's funny because they do all these reshoots, and I wonder if they like listen to the fans. Like they're like, oh, they're talking about Tom Cruise. Let's go and ask him if he wants to be in this. So things like that. I don't know. But there's a lot of rumors and a lot of things happening, reshoots and different stuff. So I'm excited, but I'm also just a little bit nervous because we don't know what's going to happen for the rest of this year. So with that being said, I hope we start getting release dates for the Disney Plus shows. Marvel Studios. If you're listening, which you're probably not, but if you're listening, please go and create like a Marvel Studios Day or something, Marvel Day, whatever it is, and let us kind of have a day where you release information about what's going on before the Disney Plus Day, because it feels like the problem with Disney Plus Day is like this Disney Plus Day sucked, and I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. There was barely any Star Wars news, and that was Star Wars' fault. But maybe also because they have freaking two times. I don't know. But then Marvel Studios really didn't really dive deep into a lot of stuff, and it showed the things, but like I don't know, it felt like it was sort of boring. I would have loved what they did with Investor Day, where they had Kevin Feige talking about what is it? All the movies, all the TV shows, everything, in a 20-minute video, 30-minute video. They're like, this is what's coming to you on Disney Plus. That I would be like, that's awesome. That would have made me happy. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. It was just like they showed a bunch of teasers and things whenever they felt like releasing them. There was no schedule. We had no idea. That was sort of maybe exciting, but I mean, I'm sorry, but that day I was busy with that stuff going on. So I had to watch it all later, and it wasn't it was sort of lackluster. I'm hoping that on this next Disney Plus Day, they go back to showcasing Kevin Feige talking about what's coming up and everything like that, and kind of introducing everything. But we'll see, because I mean, that would mean that each studio head has to do another video, which I mean, why not? We're not going to be there to where they can actually show this to an investor. So, I mean, they might as well show us like that, like they did through Zoom or whatever it was. So that would be cool. So anyway, all in all, I'm really super excited no matter what. Like, I can't wait for this year. This year's going to be a lot of fun. Once again, I'm not as hyped up yet. Nothing. The teasers have come out and they've been okay. Like, they've been cool to like get a little like, but I want a little bit more. Like, I want to start getting that feeling that I was getting through Spider-Man. I don't know. Maybe the other problem is that a lot of these guys are more talking still about Spider-Man and not hyping up getting ready for Doctor Strange. I think if all the guys on YouTube that do these shows start saying Doctor Strange, I can't wait for this, blah 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 blah, more, I feel like there'll be a little bit more hype. But we'll see what happens. I can't wait for it no matter what, just because I think it's going to be off the walls bonkers. They realized with doing Spider-Man No Way Home and having so many different cameos and everything that, I mean, they're apparently going to like triple it, in this next one. And so hopefully that doesn't go too overboard on it and it loses its appeal. But I have this feeling it won't. I feel like they're doing the right thing. So anyway, thank you guys for checking this out. If you like it, subscribe and let me know. Once again, if you guys like this as more like a weekly or I can't do this daily, but if this is more like weekly thing that you're interested in, let me know and I'll start doing more weekly stuff for it. I don't know. I just thought I'd give it a stab, and we had one extra spot for Fridays on YouTube. I was like, let me start up a show like this because this might be kind of fun. All right. Well, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.